Welcome back to the National Speakers Association Behind the Stage. Good afternoon. We're coming to you live, streaming on many different platforms here today. I'm your host again, Rich Bontrager, more commonly known as Trigger, and we're celebrating 50 years of the National Speakers Association, and that's part of the reason this show was born, to help celebrate that. And we're also just over a week away from Thrive 2023. And I know a lot of people are excited. The posts are beginning to really get generated. I mean, the Facebook groups, people are sharing their anticipation of reconnecting, having a lot of fun. We're going to talk about that later on the show when Maureen comes and joins us. We're also going to share some of those 50-year anniversary did you know facts. They're always fun, interesting. We'll see what Maureen has plans for us. But today we are going to get into a very enlightening conversation with someone who knows the NSA from a very long time as well. During this conversation today, feel free to drop in questions, comments. Always be supportive and play along and have fun with us here today. But today we are going to have with us Jim Pancero. He's the chair of the Board of Trustees of our NSA Foundation. He is a CSP, a CPAE, a Hall of Fame member and speaker. And today we're going to get into the value and the importance of the NSA Foundation. Jim serves as the chair of that board, and he has a bunch of great information to share with us today. So without any other ado, let's bring Jim on live. Welcome, Jim.
I'm honored to be here.
You were telling us before we got on today, you've been with us for a long time. How long have you really been a part of the NSA?
Well, I've been at NSA since I joined in 1981 as I was leaving my corporate job to become a professional speaker. In fact, I financed my business with 15 credit cards because I didn't have any money to get my business started. That was in 81. And then, in fact, I joined, and then I got involved in the foundation around 2000 and have been involved since then on different various committees and serving kind of behind the scenes.
So we're celebrating 50 years, and Maureen's going to come on later on and talk about a little bit of that. But what would you say about celebrating 50 years with the National Speakers Association before we jump into the foundation itself?
We are at that 50-year mark with the foundation as well. It's kind of the birth of NSA and the birth of the foundation happened very close to each other.
So what is that history? Yeah, please get into it.
There was a professional speaker who came from the insurance industry and spoke about sales and insurance. He wasn't even a member of NSA, but everybody knew him within the speaker community. And he and his wife had extensive life insurance and all types of insurance, but they lived into their 90s and they ran out of money. So 10 CPAEs each chipped in $1,000 to support and help that speaker to be able to live on. That money in today's times, I think I did the math last year, was about $50-some thousand in today's equivalent dollars that they gave. That helped the couple through several years. When the individual died, his wife, when she got her insurance settlements, sent the check back of $10,000 back to NSA, thanking them for their assistance. The CPAEs decided that instead of taking the money back, since it was already spent, they said, why don't we just hold on to it? I'm sure there's going to be somebody in the future that's going to have another problem. And that was really, I think that was 1973. That was the birth of the foundation at that point. It was very sleepy and just kind of existed for a number of years. And then Dr. Nito Quabain, I think around the late 1990s, got involved and decided we needed to be more formal and moved to being a 501(c) and did a tremendous amount of fundraising and raised millions of dollars that really became the foundation of the finances of our organization.
So it really is one of the big benefits of being part of the NSA, being a member of the NSA. The foundation is a big benefit. Can you share more about this? Tell us, maybe not everyone's really aware of the real value here.
Yes, and I think one of the things that's important to start with is through our research, we have not found another professional association that offers a benevolent foundation like we have. We're the only ones. The whole goal of this foundation is to be of support and help to our membership. We started very small. $10,000 was really the beginning seed money of the foundation. But today we are now at $4.7 million. About a year ago, we were at about $5.7 million, but the joys of the marketplace. Now we have come back several $100,000 just in the last few months. So we see that recovering, but we have this foundation of finances that support what we do. And what's also important, I think, is that there's over 50 of your fellow NSA members that are actively involved in at some committee or some effort within the foundation to help us support our members who are experiencing the greatest needs. The member benefit I see where this is so critical. As a national NSA member, you are available for the resources of our foundation. Now, some of the ways that we support our members and our causes. The first is that we have a community grant we give every year to the Convention City, to a nonprofit organization in the Convention City where we're holding our convention as a thank you. We also have every year, we award the Dr. Neil Quabain Philanthropist of the Year Award. Last year at our convention, we presented that to Scott Friedman for all the work he's done in Asia. We also have funds that we provide. The biggest, one of the large funds that we offer is that we offer college and graduate student scholarships, and we award up to 8 scholarships of $5,000 each every year. In fact, in a few weeks, that application is going to be opening up if you have a student that you would like to recommend or propose. We also have something called the Art Berg Fund. He was an NSA member. He was in line to be president of our association. He was in a wheelchair, and he died early at a very young age. And so a number of his friends, as a tribute to him, because he was very technology focused in the early days, that they created a fund where we award up to $5,000 to a nonprofit organization that one of our NSA members is involved in to be able to bring technology to that nonprofit or to improve their technology usage. And that application opens up in March as well. We have something called disaster relief. It was started several hurricanes ago. It was started originally when the first hurricane, I should say the hurricane hit in New Orleans a number of years ago. And they immediately sent a $1,000 check to every NSA member that was in New Orleans because they knew that no matter where you were going to need some money very quickly. That has evolved, and during Hurricane Harvey that hit through Texas and Florida and Georgia, we expanded those funds with a major fundraising effort. So that if you're in a natural disaster, like an earthquake or a hurricane or the major fires that we've had, any of these other kind of natural disasters, there is $1,000 available to you as an NSA member, immediately available to help get you through this disruption in your life. And for those of you that have bigger disruptions than just going through that, we have, and it's the main fund of our foundation, which is called the Professional Speakers Benefit Fund. We refer to it as PSBF. And PSBF is a fund that if you're experiencing crises outside your control, we have financial support available. If you are having severe health challenges, if you have had an accident that's preventing you from work, severe old age, like the original recipient of the foundation's funds, or natural disasters, we have additional funds available for you to support you through this as a member of NSA. You only have to be a member for 3 years to qualify. We're not broad enough in our organization to be able to support business challenges. So we've always said that nobody received a check because of 9/11 or because of COVID hitting. But if you're having personal crises, we have funds available to be able to help you. These are the different buckets of support we have based on where you are and what you need.
That's really a very definitive line. I'm glad you clarified that, because you would think with all the things that came out through the COVID, the money that was available, but you would have gone with the personal side, the personal need, not really the business need. Can you kind of break down or elaborate on why that was distinctive, why you really decided to go that way? Was it just because of the funding, or was it because
Available funds.
people matter more than anything else?
Well, we knew a couple things because how long you've been a professional speaker is you have been through recessions. I think I've counted since I started my business in 1981. I really started January of 82, that I think I've been through 6 major recessions or downturns in the economy. The challenge we have is that when I'm affected in my business, so are all of our members. And we just don't have the financial bandwidth to be able to offer a business insurance policy of people that are trying to restart their business or need it to fund a website or anything else. So the funds are meant as emergency funds to bridge you through a crisis. And that's the funds we can support. We would have to be probably 20 times larger in our assets than we are now if we were going to be able to offer any business help. And we apologize that we can't. But if you're having a personal crisis, you and your family, we have the opportunity to be able to offer help.
So let's dig into that. How can we as NSA members reach out to you? What's the basis to say, hey, I've got a need, help? Where do we
And
go?
well, now with disaster relief, one of the things we do with the last hurricane, Ian was a great example of this. Marilyn Sherman, a member of our foundation board, is the chair of disaster relief, and she's assisted by another foundation board member, Mark Pittman. And when Hurricane Ian hit the Florida coast, we had contacted every NSA member in that area within 3 days of the hurricane reaching land. We talked to every member that was registered with NSA in those zip codes. And within 7 days, we actually got major funding to somebody who had lost their home because of the disaster. We work trying to move very quickly when we have these kind of challenges and crises within our members, all aimed at these emergency funds to help. Probably, so we are outreaching for disaster relief, but anybody can just go to the NSA Foundation website, and we'll give you the link at the end to be able to go to this. But you can nominate yourself or anybody else. For PSBF, I would say probably 75% of our applicants are nominated for PSBF assistance from somebody else. Only about 25% come from a member themselves. So anybody can propose an individual that is an NSA member of at least 3 years receiving this financial assistance. It's all meant to help you be able to improve your life and to be able to survive a personal crisis that you and your family might be facing. So now okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to let everyone know, for those of you following along, streaming along, we dropped a bunch of links in there right now. The foundation link is one of those links. But if you do want to grab those, start exploring those, because you have Instagram, you have Facebook. It's not just the foundation page. You're out there actively participating with the NSA community, aren't you?
Well, that's our goal. We're trying to stay as current as our average member with our online activities, frankly. But yes, now, and you asked the question, how can our members support and be of assistance to the foundation?
Yes.
There's several things that anybody watching this can do. The first is we would encourage you that at Influence, this summer's convention, again, for our second year, we're going to have a half-day business seminar that is being sponsored by High Point University and Dr. Nito Quabain. And they are providing the international experts on business to be able to be interviewed and to share with the members. This is a free, you have to be registered as a member of you have to be attending the convention and registered for it, but it is a no charge function, with the idea that at the end of the program, we ask for donations if you would like to be more supportive of the foundation. Also at the foundation, at the summer convention, we're also going to be having Sunday evening a celebration. It's an anniversary party for NSA. Each year at the convention, we always hold a Sunday evening activity as a fundraiser and as a way to celebrate the foundation and our members' involvement. And this year, it's going to be a celebration of NSA and the 50 years that the association has been helping and improving our members. So we're very excited to be a part of that. We also have several things that you could do. One of them is if you see anybody that is experiencing, a member that's experiencing a personal crisis outside of their control, let us know. We want to see if we can offer them help. We work at trying to say yes to everything that we possibly can in support of our members. The second thing you can do is to attend our functions that we're going to have this summer, and we have every year at the annual convention at Influence, with both the pre-convention program as well as our celebration or the Sunday evening activities we always hold. The third thing you can do is donate. If things are going really well for you, this is a great time to consider donating to the funds, because as large as our foundation is, if we had more funds, we could do more. We could give more to our PSBF applicants. We could do more with disaster relief. We could do more to come to the aid of our fellow members that are experiencing the greatest needs outside their control. The fourth thing that you can do, and I think that it really is the whole foundation is based on the spirit of Cavett. If you're a newer member, Cavett Robert was our founder, and he was such a giving and open individual that the association really adopted the theme of living the spirit of Cavett. And that's forgetting about yourself and focusing your attention and your offers of help on others. It's reaching out and helping others that are not as far along as you are. We refer to that as the spirit of Cavett. So one of the ways you can continue the foundation's goals and continue living the spirit of Cavett is what you're doing to reach out in your own community and your own volunteer organizations to offer help and assistance to those that can most benefit and need it. The foundation is a group participation. All of our past chairs are still involved as advisors in the foundation. We have about a 15-person board of trustees that serve to make sure that we are respecting our members' donations and doing as much as possible to offer assistance to those that most need it. We are committed to helping our members improve their lives and to become more stable in what's happening in their lives, and to hopefully continue to improve and grow their business and to be more successful so to remain a member of NSA a really long time. We see this as a direct member benefit of being in NSA, and because of the foundation. So our goal is to do as much as we possibly can to support our members in those efforts.
Jim, this foundation is really amazing. I'm really glad we've taken the time to break it down more. I don't think overall the NSA members realize, A, it's here, the value that you and your team have with this. And I love that you pointed out, you guys were proactive. You reach out when trouble hits. You're coming after us before we even know we need you. I just love that idea that you're intentionally looking out for us.
And on PSBF, we actually, if we see on Facebook or there's something of somebody being in trouble or having a crisis, if we hear about it, we call them and to say, hey, don't you want to talk to us about getting some assistance based on what you're dealing with? Our whole goal is to help our members that are experiencing the greatest needs. That's really the spirit of Cavett.
Now, for those of us that run some of the Facebook groups and other parts of the streaming content, how can we support you to get the message out? Would you like to appear on more Facebook groups, more, opportunities to speak and share this?
Any chance we get. I have recorded a number of videos for our individual chapters. If they were having a fundraising event that the foundation was going to be benefiting, I have recorded several videos that they could show to share with that. So if your chapter is interested in doing something to support and help the foundation, we will do whatever we can to be of assistance to you in those efforts.
So that would be great. Again, we're always looking for questions, comments, chats, type them on in. But we do have Maureen is here with us from the NSA, from the national office. She has a question for you, Jim. So take it away, Maureen.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, not so much a question, Jim, but I just want to say, so at the end of last year, I had personally worked with one of our members who sadly passed away, Dr. Rob Pennington. And he I remember on the calls that I had with him, we were working on a project together, but he just had the best things to say about the foundation, that he didn't even know that, he said, I didn't really need the assistance, but the foundation reached out to me because he was going through some treatments and so forth. And, he was like, no, give it to somebody else. And they were like, no, like, let's help you. And he just could not say enough amazing things about the foundation and all the great things that you're doing. So I just wanted to reiterate, thank you. Cause I mean, I've heard, you're talking about the hurricane and everything, just I love, what you all are doing at the foundation. So I just wanted to pass that along. So thank you for that.
I think the thing that's also important for members to know is if you have ever donated any funds to the foundation, whether it's by attending our Sunday evening events at Influence or donating any money, that money is still in the foundation corpus. We only spend a percentage of our interest earned each year, so that any money that has been donated is still part of our foundation corpus, and we don't touch. We only spend a portion of the interest so that the foundation continues. We have new members that are joining the foundation, and it's growing, and it has such a very strong future that is so much bigger than any one of us as individuals.
Maureen, thanks for that. Yeah, there we go. I love it. We knew we were going to plug that in there. Mo, we're going to bring you back in a little bit. Thanks for dropping in for that. But yeah, absolutely. The way you're running this is extremely generous. It's very intentional. And I want to go back to Orlando. The foundation is going to have that Sunday night celebration, the 50-year anniversary. Do we need to pre-register? Is that something we need to really click?
Yes, and there'll be a
How do we
separate
do
fee
that?
for it. The pre-convention program is going to be free, asking for donations, but on the Sunday evening event, that is something you would sign up for. And there would be a fee involved. And I believe from Jamie that that's going to be listed within the registration activities, that it should be listed as one of the line items that you could pay for, or you can even pay for it separately.
Right now, we're all thinking about Thrive, but again, it won't be long before we're all back in Orlando for the big celebration. Final thoughts, Jim, as you talk about that foundation. Again, you got the QR code up there. We've shared the links out. But what final thoughts would you have for all of us to really take this to heart and be more aware of it?
I think the most important thing to me about the foundation is how it has been member funded and it is member supported in how it's run. We have over 50 people that are actively working, a lot of them in secret. We do not publish who is on the committee for the selection of the PSBF recipients because we don't want to have anybody in a position that they might lobby them for their decision, so that we keep it. We also are very concerned about precedent, that we treat everybody with a consistency and a fairness. So just because you've done a lot of volunteering in NSA doesn't mean that there's special treatment with the foundation. We approach it that everybody is a member and we should be treating everybody equally and fairly, trying to do the most we can to help those that are experiencing the greatest needs. It's
Jim, will
really
you
getting
be
down to it.
at Thrive and
I am
at
looking
both?
forward to it.
All right.
I'll be at Thrive and I'll be at Influence. I think since 1982, my first convention, I've only missed one. That was in New York the one year, and have attended every convention since then and plan to keep going. It is such a member benefit, especially the programming at Thrive coming up next week is the strongest I think it's been in years. I congratulate the staff and the volunteers that have put this together. It's a tremendous program. I hope you're going to be there, and I look forward to talking with you. And please ask me any questions about the foundation. It's one of my favorite topics.
Jim Pancero, thanks for being with us here today. Again, we will see you. That's only a week away, everybody. Can you believe we are this close to meeting up back in person again? I know last year after shutdown, people were so excited to be there. And again, seek Jim out. Go take some time, sit down with him and talk about what the trustees are doing and how the NSA Foundation is working out. Again, he said he would love to talk with you and share some more of his passion, his knowledge, and there's always more coming up. There's always more coming up. Don't forget, we do have Thrive next week. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we're going to meet in Orlando later on this summer. But between now and then, we're celebrating 50 years at the National Speakers Association. And coming up next, we are bringing back one of our team members, Maureen Mahony. We just saw her a minute ago. Maureen's going to come back, and Maureen's always going to be adding in now commentary insights of, did you know?
Did you know? It's really just fun facts that I find out about NSA that I think are so fascinating and interesting, that because hashtag I'm a history nerd, but I almost called you Jim.
Wait. History nerd or a nerd, period? Which one is it?
Both.
Okay, there. Go on.
Hashtag I love being a nerd. So did you know, Rich, did you know that in 1989, I was in the first grade, speaking of the foundation, and this is all I'm reading from our 40th anniversary book. We are hopefully working on some something for our 50th, but the NSA's foundation's first annual scholarships were awarded in 1989. But also, and this has nothing to do with the foundation, in July of 1989, NSA's meetings went smoke-free. Smoke-free, Rich. Did you? I love that fact. And that's in this.
Well, and again, for those of us that grew in the generation where the smoke was everywhere.
Yes.
That was
And
a big shift.
but I would say that's kind of early because I mean, I remember you could smoke on the airplanes when I was little. But I will say when I went to college in New Orleans, and you could basically smoke anywhere. And this was in the early 2000s. So like 1989, I feel like that very health conscious.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious what those meetings were like with the smoke. I don't know. I just think of my grandparents because that's what I grew up with. So,
Well, I can remember again. Our family did try to be health conscious. They did go out in the patio. They did do that. Now, Grandpa was even better, but Grandpa had a lot of friends. So even the back patio had that little puffy cloud going over. But at least they were outside.
oh no, I in college I had my going out jeans and my school jeans, and the going out jeans just like stayed in this. Oh God, the future is a great place.
Well, coming up, stick around with me, Maureen, because coming up this next weekend, we are going to be at the Grand Hyatt San Antonio Riverwalk for Thrive 2023. I know things are hopping. I know you guys are flying, but can you give us any little tidbits, updates of what we're in for?
A great time. Hello. You're going to learn a lot. I mean, I'm so stoked for this amazing lineup. If you go to nsaspeaker.org and you click on our events, you can go through and see all of our speakers. You can click on their picture and it will give you like an in-depth detail of what we're going to talk about, some of the key takeaways, the objectives of what you're going to learn. We are bringing some new voices in. We're even bringing back Mr. Richard Bliss, who's going to do a part 2 of what we learned last year. So I think we're just going to gain a lot of really great insights. We're going to meet a lot of great new people, and I'm excited. I think and San Antonio Riverwalk, man. I mean, like margaritas and Tex-Mex. I mean, that is like my jam.
We may have to have an outdoor session. By the way, there is going to be how to flourish and the uncertain marketplace that we're going through right now.
Yep.
How to generate 6 figures and more with working with the government. What that's all about. We're going to learn about that coming up. We're going to talk about how to entice clients to do whatever it takes to work with you. Those lead magnets, that conversation, how we can do better at that, and why introducing yourself as a speaker is a terrible idea. And Maureen, I've talked on that one myself. You're not just a speaker anymore, but I'm not going to ruin it all here.
You don't want to give it all away, Rich.
Right.
We gotta registration. I think is still open. By the way, if you just like want to make that last minute, FOMO purchase.
By the way, did you know? This is the did you know for you, Maureen.
Tell me.
March 14th is Professional Speaker Celebration Day.
I did know that.
We have our own dedicated day for all the professional speakers, and we're going to celebrate ourselves and others on March 14th.
Absolutely. We are celebrating this amazing profession. I mean, I'm just going through our core values, like abundant generosity, uplifting humanity, honorable innovation, intentional language. And I'm missing one, but I can't think that fast right now. But I mean, this organization, this community of professional speakers, it's all about helping each other become a better speaker and build a better business. So what did Cavett say? He said, we're just going to build a bigger pie. So and it's right by Pi Day too. So, I mean, go celebrate professional speakers and then go get yourself a pie and eat it all by yourself. Like I probably will.
Maureen Mahony, we will be seeing you. And we also are going to be bringing behind the stage to Thrive. We're going to be doing interviews, conversations. We're going to have the gear there. Come on by and join us coming up in just over a week and a half. Great to see you again, Maureen. That's going to do it for this edition of Behind the Stage. Again, special thanks to Jim Pancero for being with us today, learning about the foundation and what it really does for us. Again, we have Thrive coming up. I want to remind you, mark your calendars. If you have not marked your calendars right now, coming up on July 15th to the 17th is going to be Influence, and that will be down in Orlando. Again, you want to register, go find that on our NSA website. And again, we would love to see you both at Thrive and in Orlando as we celebrate 50 years. That's going to do it for this edition of Behind the Stage. I'm your host, the Trigger Rich Bontrager. We'll see you next month, and we'll see you next week live on the Riverwalk.